Okay, Eugene, thanks
Hi.
for, 抽空时间 to tell us all about Yen Wong cultural group or cultural troupe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let us know, when do you start? Why do you start? The size of your troupe
I
and
started off, actually, me in lion and dragon dancing, I've been doing it since I was age of 10, so 30 over years now. And
ooh,
I decided to learn something new or try to challenge myself. So I decided to pick up this Hakka unicorn, which is rarely seen in Singapore then. Then I decided to start a group totally concentrating on this Hakka unicorn. But of
okay.
course, I couldn't let go of lion dancing as well. So of course, lion dancing and Hakka unicorn as well.
Right.
So I started this troupe in 2015.
Okay.
Okay, so probably just about 5-6 years
5 years,
only.
yeah.
But it's a relatively new troupe, but our achievement beats a lot of old teams around the world.
Oh, that's good. So do tell me a bit of your achievements, like, obviously you've gone through the world champions and stuff like that.
Okay, upon mastering the art, we managed to get the highest scoring gold medal in the 2017 World Unicorn Championships.
And where was that held?
That was held in Kulai, Malaysia. So the competition was held there in 2017. It was the first ever Hakka Unicorn dance competition in
Okay.
the world.
Okay.
We had 14 teams from, I think, 9 countries, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
And then we came out having the highest score gold medal, so which actually was the overall champion.
Okay. That must have been a great, moment for you
Oh, it was definitely.
and for your
Because of
team as well. Yeah.
the effort we put into this art form. I mean, it was worthwhile. It was worthwhile.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Most important was the amount of money spent.
The groundwork that you have to lay down before.
Yeah, definitely. And the equipment and the unicorn heads and instruments are not actually very cheap. They are more
Yeah.
expensive than normal line dance ones.
Of course,
So
because
that's
it's harder to find. It's
it was
harder to
harder to
procure.
find as well. To get a reliable maker and probably instruments that come out from a better factory that can last longer. All requires money. So no choice. Expensive hobby, expensive hobby, especially
Yeah.
culture.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
But
then in,
obviously you've got your
then
passion.
in 2019, we did join the second such international competition
Okay.
in Kulai as well again.
Yeah.
And this time around, we came in second highest.
Okay.
We lost to the first team by 0.01 mark because of a small mistake. And,
0.01.
but actually 0.10 is okay. You know why? Because the winning team is also taught by me. It's my Australian students. So yeah, so they got the highest scoring and we were the second highest scoring.
Also good. All under your belt. Yeah.
So it's double happiness for me lah. 双喜 lah.
双喜. That's good. That's good.
Yes.
So how big is your troupe?
We have accomplished.
Yeah, so a lot of achievements, in terms of the, how young your group is actually, and then so soon into this new sport, you've won the world champion.
Yes.
So that's a good achievement under your belt.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Yeah.
All hard work lah. To me, it's more of hard work, finding the right seafoods to learn from, and then working hard. And my boys also contributing a very important part as well. Most important actually are my boys' parents. Every day before the competition for past month,
really?
every night they were here without fail.
Yeah.
So they sort of like left off whatever they were doing. Of course, studies we don't
Interfere. Yeah.
jeopardize that lah. After school they come down, they train. Then it's always very grateful for their parents because they are the one that allow their kids to spend less time with them and spend more time here. So winning the gold medal, I think they're happy as well lah.
I think it's a good thing for them to show.
Their parents are still allowing them to come.
Yeah. Must be a good thing then. So how big is your troupe in terms of, this one here and the...
Relatively isn't a very big troupe because last time I used to run very big teams, 50, 60, 70 people.
For line dancers, right?
Yes, lion, dragon. And that time a bit of unicorn, but not really unicorn.
But this unicorn group is more condensed.
Correct. Consists of only about, let's say, I think plus my older students about 30 over people only. They're very
So
small
about
team.
half the size of a normal one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Manageable lah, more manageable lah.
And is the demand for unicorns high in Singapore?
Okay, unicorn-wise, I don't mean to offend anybody, but to really speak about Hakka unicorn and the actual way or practices of this culture, I would only say I'm one of the few teams in Singapore that does it actually. So there are a lot of teams in Singapore have this unicorn dance heads, but I would say they're probably they just buy one for the sake of having one, having fun.
Yeah, I
with
know
it,
what you mean. Yeah, okay.
Experiment around with it, and not really going all out like me to do everything Hakka about it, everything unicorn about it. Because I really take it down to the most basic thing is even an invitation card. It has to consist of everything that they do with the unicorn, which is very rarely seen here.
Okay.
So, Singapore still supports our art. A lot of temples and a lot of even ministers also, a few ministers who love our unicorn. They say something different and then they are very proud of us as well upon winning these achievements and all that.
Okay.
So the market in Singapore is, yes, they still look for us for the unicorn dance. Nowadays they know how to differentiate a unicorn dance from last time.
Yeah.
But sometimes people probably just use a unicorn and then match it down with line dance.
The line dance, yeah. Right.
So just to sort of bulk the performance up.
Right.
But nowadays they really know that, hey, actually unicorn, there's so many rules and regulations and so many practices that they want to engage us more.
Yeah.
They find that we have all the traditional elements there. So I don't mean to offend anybody, but just that this is hard work that we really spend time and learn and really go and practice it.
So it's a time that you actually invest to dedicate to this art of perfecting what the Tilin is all about.
Correct. Because I always have this saying, if I want to do it, I do it good. I'm not going to just simply brush
anyhow.
Any what we call anyhow.com thing. I'm not going to do that. So fortunately, Singapore, a lot of them appreciate us. So we have a lot of supporters who always engage us, telling them they want us for their events and all their temple functions and all that. So I'm quite
I noticed there's a lot of unicorns sometime during Yugeng.
Yeah, Yugeng. A lot of Yugeng.
Yeah.
Lately, last year actually, I think almost 20 over Yugengs. I do encourage other teams in Singapore to learn this art for so as well. Yes, I just actually hope that more Singaporeans pick this up. I mean, more other teams in Singapore, they also want to learn the unicorn. I mean, I'm not going to be a selfish fella and just say that, I conquer the whole thing, it's mine.
Yep.
I don't mind having teams around learning. Even if teams who want to approach us to learn, so I also don't mind teaching. Just that I just hope they really uphold the culture and the value.
You have to uphold the integrity of the dance and the history that entails in it. So if not, there's no point just moving around to the tune. It spoils it.
Actually, I'll touch on this. Actually, the main purpose of this unicorn in Hakka culture is actually to represent the whole entire village. So each village in China or Hong Kong, they have their own unicorn team. So when the unicorn team goes to another village to pay respects or to pray or to even grace any event, they always look at the basic mannerisms and all the movements that show that you have come from a good, proper master or proper village. So you in other words, you actually judge
by how your Tilin.
How well mannered your unicorn is will judge how good your village is, or how the overall status of village is.
If not Xiasui, right? If the Tilin is bad.
Yeah. So it's going to really cause mayhem if everybody goes wrong and then anything that they can catch that is wrong, then you have
that's
to be
the whole thing gone.
So that's why it's a very, 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 very strict culture in Hong Kong and China actually. They're actually very particular about this. So that's why I learn and adopt. Of course, certain things I adopt from my Hong Kong sifu. I minus off those that cannot be applied here in Singapore, because there's certain things. Like example for temple format, the temple format or the Qi Tong format, which is the ancestral hall, we don't have ancestral hall here in Singapore. So there's the particular way of walking, the formation of walking it's not usable in here in Singapore. So certain things when I learn, I do away with it. So that's why a lot of things to learn. It took me, actually, my interest in Hakka Unicorn started way back in 1998.
Wow.
I wanted to learn it then, okay. And then my line dance sifu, okay, he also knows how to play the unicorn, but he was unwilling to share with me that time because he said that it was too strenuous, it was too difficult. He wants everybody to tiao ma, which is a particular form of stance, which you have to actually tiptoe.
Okay.
So because he says that the chiling is a hoofed animal, it's not a claw animal like a lion.
Oh yes, it is hoof.
Like a deer and a horse thing. So he said that in order for a human to mimic the hoof style,
so you got stand on your
tiptoe. Yes, correct. He was like unwilling to really teach me. He said, "很凶的啦，不要学啦。你真的要学 you really have to go and like really indulge in it and really go all out for it lah." So over the past 10 over years, and then he also like semi-retired. Actually, he retired from the line dance world already. So he was telling me that ask me to go and find another sifu that can teach me better lah. He said because he told me that his unicorn may not work out now because modern times he also understands that we move on with time. So ways that he teach and the ways of the olden style may not work out now, not because he doesn't want to uphold the tradition, just that that tradition may not work out, and in the end I will end up failing in the end.
Right. I totally
understand.
Yeah.
Hong Kong instead. So he said because Hong Kong they are more practical now. So and then it's probably it's something that everybody sees and everybody can relate to. You see,
Right.
That particular style is actually very Nanyang, very Malaysian Singapore style. So only a few things in Malaysia and Sarawak only play this style.
Right. Okay.
So he told me not to really. He told me to concentrate more on my lion actually that time because he was actually our lion was our forte lah. Then so
right.
Like, so now he's still happy. He's very proud of us. I mean, he's
That's
very
good.
proud that I managed to train out another team,
the
unicorn, and he's still our lion. He's also our lion. Sikong to all my all my students. So yeah, we're still very happy lah.
That's good.
Started off the unicorn so many years ago, and then along the way there were ups and downs. I was trying my best to really understand and go and learn, but every time I came up to different hurdles, being it the master in Hong Kong was unwilling to teach because he says that this is our art. We don't have to spread it to you because it's our own. So I did encounter a few masters and sifus that were unwilling to really share because to them it's their own thing. They don't need. They don't see the reason for them to spread this culture to some other country elsewhere in the world. So fortunately for me, until one day after my so many years of trying to find a perfect sifu, actually I found this sifu through YouTube first. I tell you the truth, actually I watch YouTube videos trying to learn. And I really go through the YouTube videos every day, seeing which one was the best one to follow. Upon identifying the team that I want to follow, thanks to Facebook also, I managed to fish out one or two Sihengs that had Facebook and were. So from there, I started to message them, and then fortunately for me, I went over to Hong Kong for a holiday, and just nice they were at a performance there.
Oh wow! So you could meet them,
and it was like chilling for me because when I was watching the live performance there, and then I was my hands on my back, my neck were literally standing because I was so excited and so happy to finally see it in person and feel the power.
Right. Yeah.
So after that, I managed to talk to them there, and then they start to realize that there was such a person like me in Singapore. And every time I tried to teach my dance students how to play the instruments, and I took snippets of it and I sent off to them, and then they realized that something is different about this group of people in Singapore.
It's very determined.
So they came to Singapore once. One of my Siheng came to Singapore once. He sort of like taught us the basics, and then he went back tell my sifu about what we are doing lah. So the second year came, okay. This time around, 3 of my 大师兄 came out, right? And this time around, they went back to they wanted to actually see what we were up to and how we were going to go about it. So the third year, finally my sifu came out, and that's when I officially 拜师啦，敬茶咯，official master咯. So that's where, because like I said, it took us 3 years for us to be recognized by them lah. So it wasn't easy at all lah. Now upon teaching Australia, they also recognize Australia side as well.
Yeah. It's interesting because in Australia, we've never seen a qilin. So that's really good. Like in terms of the challenges that we faced and the little bit of history, and obviously your achievements, which is the most important. So from this, where we are now, what else do you look forward to achieve, and what do you see in the future for this troupe that you are coaching?
currently, because our team is still very small, I hope we definitely can expand, okay? Because to actually get students to really pick up this art and learn this very, very difficult art form is not easy lah. Because a lot of them probably just join for 1 or 2 weeks and then they
Right.
it's too tiring. So what I hope is that we can spread this to schools, probably, or maybe community centers, to sort of like push this more as a culture form than anything else lah. Because a lot of people tend to think that五狮五龙狼赛狼灵蒙神蒙龙排剑
Oh, yes.
So I'm trying my best to like erase this sort of image, this bad boy image all the line dancers have. Because like I told you, I explained it earlier on, the unicorn actually portrays the mannerism of your particular upbringing of your particular village or shifu or that. So it's very important. So actually we're holding a lot of our culture, Chinese cultural roots, and mannerisms. You see, like nowadays, the unicorn, everywhere it goes, it says thank you, it bows. Okay, for example, I give one example. Let's say our unicorn was to come to let's say a little platform over a drain. Okay, probably just a wooden plank over a drain.
Okay.
Small little drain, a ditch. Okay, that we can just literally just lift our leg and just cross over just like that easily. But if the unicorn were to use that to cross over to the opposite side, the unicorn will bow to the bridge or the wooden plank in this case. Okay, to say yes, good afternoon. I'm going to use you for this moment.
Oh, right.
Okay. Once he crosses over the wooden plank, he turns around and bows again to say thank you very much for letting me utilize your facility or your usage there. So the unicorn is something that teaches us how to be very grateful, how to remember, how to earn. You see, so it all portrays in the unicorn dance. So that's why I want to explain to people, and hopefully in this modern society, instead of kids everyday gaming away, looking at their handphones, gaming, they all focus on something that is actually all fiction. When in reality, we have so much to touch on and so much to play around with, and nobody is looking at it. So that's rather sad. So I hope in the future, doesn't necessarily have to be my team, as long as teams around Singapore or any young teams carry on this unicorn culture properly. I mean, learn from it and then spread it. So for my side, definitely I wish that my team can go a bit bigger, not big. I just want it a bit bigger, just so that we have enough of members to like spread on from generation to generation. What I want is a continuous flow down the line, not just stop at me or my now studie. I want them to be sufus themselves and to teach on the art and carry on all the way down. So the world can change, okay, but the art doesn't die off. That's the most important thing to me lah.